morning, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Laurie, and I live in northern Utah, gardening zone 7A, and I'm out here planting some dahlia tubers today. I want to show you what I have popping out of the ground because I can overwinter some of my dahlias, which is so nice. I don't have to pull the bulbs out of the ground. I discovered that a couple years ago when I accidentally left one when I took them all out, and it came back up, and I thought, well, I can probably just leave mine in. So I'll show you what I have, and then some really exciting things that came back that I wasn't sure if they were going to, and that I'm super happy about it. But I have this area here in my gardening box that I want to do mostly dahlias and then some fun flowers and then a couple tomato plants. I always do a couple tomato plants for the garden. Of course, it's not quite time to put in tomatoes or annuals or any of that. We're still a little chilly at night, but I'm excited to get these dahlias in. And then I have some ranunculus that I need to really get in here because I have a feeling it's going to warm up quickly. So I want them to bloom as long as they possibly can. I probably should have done this a couple weeks ago, but I just am getting to it. So let me turn the camera around. So this is my veggie flower bed that we have against our house here. We had a really big slope, and we decided we'd just build up this wall here to kind of help soften that slope as it slopes down to our neighbors' yards over here. And I've really liked it. Do always crave just some taller things up here, and so one day I envision like an espalier fruit tree here, so hopefully I can do something like that just to give a little height here in the yard. Last year we had a really tall tomato right there, that's why we have that stake. Not sure I'm going to do that variety again, even though I loved it, but we'll see. I'm still kind of thinking what I'm going to be doing as far as the garden this summer. But today I know I want to put dahlias probably mostly in here. At least that's my plan. We'll see how far I get with all the varieties that I have. And of course it's nice to have something tall to cover our AC unit. So I will really enjoy having them being tall and blocking that. And so I had some strawberries in here, but this is their 4th year, and I kind of just tore them out last fall just because I'm kind of done with them. There's still a few remnants, but I think I'm going to pull them all out. I thought about keeping them, but it's just time to be done with them. So I'm going to do the dahlias here right by the raspberries. And like I said, we'll see how far we go. But you can see I have a dahlia from last year. In fact, this is its 3rd year coming up. It's a really beautiful orange variety. Then I have this short dahlia. I remember this one's really short and compact. So I might move it somewhere in the front, or just a different placement for that one. Or maybe I'll pot it up. I'm not sure. It's just a different variety than the ones that I have. And I'm going to put in here, which are the regular, really big, tall ones. And then if I remember, there was like one little tiny one that came up here, but I probably won't worry about that one. I am checking all my drip lines. So when I turned it on, when I was working on the raspberries, I noticed I had a big hole here. In fact, it was this tube, and I just took it out. There's a few places that I had already repaired it, and right there too, and I just thought it's just time to get a new soaker hose, and I'll just be much happier instead of having to repair everything. So I'll have to go get one at the store. I do have a 100-foot hose that I need to figure out that has all the different parts, so I think I can just use that too, but I don't need that right now. Right now I'm just gonna hook up this soaker hose line now that our irrigation is on, and I'm gonna have it be watering these hollyhocks back here. And some exciting things, you guys. I had these Mystic Illusion dahlias from Proven Winners, and I wasn't sure if they were gonna come back, but look, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. New growth here. I have one here that the hose was kind of wrapped around one of the tubers, but I kind of packed it back in there, so we'll see what happens with that. And then one here that hasn't quite started yet, so we'll see. But I'm even just happy to have one here because I have 2 over there that came back. So exciting. I really wasn't sure if they would. So I have this one. Look, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So excited. And this one's just huge, and I have so many snails over here. They're driving me nuts. Guess that's just a shell. So that's super exciting that I can just have those keep coming back up. Oh, I'm just couldn't be happier about that. I probably will come in here and put a little bit of like plant tone or something around them just to make them a little happier. So hopefully those other ones come up too. If they don't, at least I have it balanced on each side, and there's some, and I'll probably buy another one and put it right here if that one doesn't come up. But I'm really hopeful that they will. And so I'm kind of reconfiguring where this is going to go because it's going to change when I have my garden. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure where I'm going to do the ranunculus. Honestly, I'll probably do it right here in this little area. I think I'll put my tomatoes here And I think by the time I'm doing my tomatoes that they'll be ready to go there. And then I'm kind of thinking if I have room, I might be able to do a large heirloom tomato right here, just like I did last year. And I really liked that, but I'm definitely going to do some different flower colors down here. Lots to plan. But here's my ranunculus. They're so gorgeous. I potted them up probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, went out of town and just haven't gotten to them yet. So they're super ready to go in the ground. It hit 80 degrees the other day and they've been hardening off, and that they struggled a little bit, but now it's back down to the 60s and 70s. So I think they should be fine, and hopefully we'll get some blooms out of them. I feel like I should have started these a while ago and got them in the ground a while ago. So I'm learning as I go. This is my first time doing them. So yeah, I think I'll plant them here, and then I can take all the corms out when I plant my tomatoes. That'll be perfect. So I'll just kind of arrange my soaker hose, because I'm definitely going to water these and that just while we're having some nice warmer weather. And then reconfigure this little section in here as well. So I need to pull all this up. You can see how the level of soil is a little bit low right here, and I want to put some new bags. Every season whenever I plant, I just add a new bag on the top, and that seems to work really nice. I'm not gonna like keep filling this with new soil. I just replenish the top. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna prep it and get it ready, and then we'll go over what dahlias I have, and then we'll get planting. Show you what I have as far as dahlias. The time to buy them is about, I don't know, January, February, March, and then they'll send them to you when they're ready to be planted in your area. So I had gone to Home Depot and saw these and was so excited about these because they look so stunning. So in here we have, let's see, it'll show you, there's 4 different types. So there's Arabian Night, which I believe is this dark burgundy one, decorative Rosella, which is probably this, Pom Pom Golden Scepter, which is this kind of yellow one, I'm sure, and then Sun Lady. Does the front tell you? Yeah, so here's the different kinds. I'm not sure the difference between those yellow ones, but these are all the types that I have. And obviously dahlias like full sun, and this area is full sun. And then in this box we have these beautiful pom-pom ones, which I love. So we have pom-pom natal, pom-pom burlesca, and Wizard of Oz, which is a really popular one I have heard when I've done some research about these. And I think Wizard of Oz is this pink one here. But these are the ones that I came in here. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to arrange these, if they're just going to be random or if I'm going to place them in order. I'm not going to be able to tell, although I think these are individually packaged. We'll look when we get in there. And then Cafe au lait, which is a really popular one, which is like a creamy white. Joey Winnie, which is like a pink lemonade one, I think, when I looked it up. Cream de Cassis is like a pink with a light hint of raspberry, I believe. I'll put all these on the screen. And then Blizzard, which is just a plain beautiful white. And then Dahlia Opal, which is, actually this is the one that's more like a lemonade. Can't remember exactly what Joey Winnie is. Maybe it's just like a pink. So this is the one that was kind of like lemonade colors. And then La Belle Epoque, I don't know how to say that. Anyway, that one's a really darker raspberry shade. So I think that's nice to have some deeper raspberries. I have some pink, I have some lighter berries, I have some whites and yellows, and then kind of, oh, actually, Yeah, Joey Winnie's kind of like a light peachy coral shade, which I really wanted, so I added that one. So lots of good varieties. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus 14 that I have in the ground. So I'm gonna kind of space these out. I think I'll just do them random because it's gonna be too hard for me to kind of categorize them. We'll see, I might lay them out. They like it to space them 12 to 18 inches. I'll probably do like closer to 12. So I'm gonna put one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then I'll probably will do 12, 13 here. And then I'll put a tall tomato plant here. Just planning this out in my head. Some flowers here, my Roma tomatoes here, and flowers here. So that'll be perfect, you guys. Okay, that laid out well. I was kind of worried about how that was gonna be. So that's how I'm gonna do it. I'll leave that one there. I pulled this one out and I might just pot it up. It's looking really healthy. I mean, look at that. Huge tubers. So yeah, we'll pot that guy up. Okay, so let's get them in the ground. You want to plant them like 6 to 8 inches deep. I'll probably do a depth of like 6 and decide if I want to color coordinate them. We'll see. Let me think about it. So I hadn't looked at these at all. They look pretty good. They're actually even getting a little bit of sprouting on them. So I'm going to keep each variety on top of their bag here, but I like how they labeled each one and had them separately bagged. So I'm going to keep that on top of there, and we'll go through all these and then we'll look at them. These you can more tell where the eye is. See, this variety is more up here, so that's going to be a little easier for me to plant. I'll look really healthy, so I'm super excited about that because I hadn't even peeked at them. It's probably a good idea to like peek at them, but what I did is I kept them in my garage where it's cooler and drier until I can get to them. So that looks pretty great too. And there's some growth points, so you can really tell where the tops are. Okay, the sun has caught up with us. I was trying to beat it, but it's okay. So I've got these all in order. This is mostly for my record, for my keeping, so I know what's where. But I have Dahlia Arabian Night and then Cream de Cassis, and those are both kind of, this is a really darker kind of red raspberry. This is a raspberry shade. Golden Scepter is a yellow. Natal is kind of like a raspberry shade. And then Dahlia Sundays, we have yellow kind of in between these. And then La Belle Epoque is kind of a raspberry shade as well, but it's more pinky. Burlesque is let me check that one. Yeah, so the Burlesque is like a beautiful kind of raspberry pom-pom, and there's 2 of those, so I'll put them by each other. And then Joey Winnie, which is more of like a corally pink. Cafe au lait, which is that creamy beautiful white. And then Rosella is a beautiful brighter pink. And then Blizzard, and then Wizard of Oz is a gorgeous pink, and then Opal, just kind of the pink lemonade shade, which will be stunning for sure. So, okay, let's get those all on the ground. I've separated out the varieties of these So I've got Chimalo here. I've got like 10 or 11 of those, and then I have 10 or 11 of the Elegance Pastello over here, and these are pink and white. They're going to be so pretty next to each other. So I'm going to keep these varieties together in this area, and I'll plant them about 4 to 6 inches apart, and it'll fill this area in really nicely. And then I think I've decided once I'm done with that, I might as well just finish cleaning up this area and adding all the soil and just have it done. And then all I have to do when I come in to plant my annuals is plant them and just kind of rearrange the water line. So let's do that now. This turned out to be quite a bigger project than I thought it would be, but it feels good to have all the soil turned over. We've got the new in-ground soil, and it just looks really nice and fresh. So I've gone through and laid out my soaker hose in the areas that I want it, kind of trying to arrange it to get these flowers here. I will rearrange it when I add another hose when I plant some annuals, but this is perfect for now. It went to there. I just put a cap on it. So that will be perfect. Look at my pretty tulips. Oh, I'm so excited to have color out here. And hopefully those hollyhocks and those Mystic Illusion dahlias will come up and bloom and be pretty. So we'll see. So I did have this little kit here, and I'll probably use it when it's time to plant annuals, but I just pulled out a plug at the end of this. So now I'm gonna check the hose and make sure everything's good. It should be good now, hopefully. Hopefully there's no holes anywhere. If there is, I might be a little cranky. Let me try it. Oh dear. I cut that tube. Oh, I kind of wondered if I nicked that. So this is a tube that goes over here to some drip line. Which means I need to run to Home Depot. But let's check out the soaker tube. The soaker tube looks okay. Darn it. I knew I would do that. I usually hit one line. Everything else looks good. So I think once I get that fixed, it'll be better, and then I'll secure these into place. So unfortunately, I'm gonna eat some lunch, clean up my face, go to Home Depot and figure out what I need to do to fix this. Dang it. Okay, so I went to the store and got a few things. I'm not sure if this is 1/2 inch or 5/8. I'm pretty sure it's 5/8 though. So I did get both, and I thought it doesn't hurt to have some of these connectors around. And then I also got this coupler because that's what I saw someone do in a video. So I think I'm gonna try this first. So here's the spot right here. So I'm gonna cut to each side of it. How does this thing work? I just grabbed this, but I don't know how it works. Hang on, let me get a different tool. Cut to this side. Got it all. And then I'm just gonna add this coupler here to both sides. So I'm pretty sure this is 1/2 inch. Hopefully that doesn't leak. I'm gonna turn it on and see. Yep, that's not gonna work. You see the water, and it's just like pushing the tube out. So that's not gonna work. I think this must be 5/8 then. So I'm gonna use the 5/8. There we go. Please work. Okay, try that now. Turned it on, and it's much better. I do feel like I need to push it on a little tighter, but that's so much better. Love that. So these are the 5/8 inch barbed connector, and I really thought this was a 1/2 inch tube, but I don't think it is. I think it is a 5/8 tube, so I'll probably take these back because that's what I have all throughout my yard. I thought he grabbed me the 1/2 inch, but he didn't. So now I have 2 of these take one back for sure. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna push it on tighter, and now I'm gonna arrange all this and kind of bury it, because you can see if you don't bury it, it does like spray out a little bit. And so you definitely want to kind of tuck it under the ground. So I'll bury it, staple it down where I want it, and that should keep everything happy. And then when I get my annuals back in, then I'll rearrange everything. Okay, all finished. Everything's repaired. The drip line's good. I'll keep my eye on it for a couple days just to double check, because I don't want to have the same scenario that I had over here with my raspberries last year, where by the middle of the season I realized there was a leak somewhere and it wasn't getting watered. So everything looks good though. It takes a while to get that buried in the ground. I'll have to like bring it up again, but that will be good, because once I see where these dahlias come up, I might want to move these little soaker hoses, because it's hard to remember. I mean, I did them kind of right in the center, so I tried to keep this middle one up a little higher. So I'll be able to turn this on a little bit every day or every couple days. Oh, we have our duck friends over there. I'll have to show them to you when I'm done here talking. But anyway, I can just turn them on with the sprinkler system, which is really nice. And I actually went to the garden center after Home Depot, and I got a tomato for there too. That's going to be amazing. So I'll leave that stake in there, because I'll definitely need it to hold it up, because they get ginormous. And then I'll just be all set and ready to put plants in the ground when it warms up. And it looks nice and fresh and clean. And these ranunculus, they've been through a lot today, but I think they'll perk up tonight, so they should be fine. But they're a little bit waterlogged at the moment, and it's a little hot out here. It's like mid-70s right now, so hopefully when it cools down with our storm coming up in a couple days, they'll be just fine, and we'll get some blooms out of them. Crossing our fingers. Probably should have planted these about a month ago, but I'm doing my best. And we'll just really hope these Mystic Illusion Dahlias come up. If they don't, I'll for sure get one if I can, or order one online, because I just love them so much. So we'll just keep an eye on that too. So thanks so much for joining me. It feels good to have this big chore done. It's actually one of my biggest chores in the garden as I get ready to plant a lot of annuals in my garden. So I'm glad to have that step behind me and everything all fixed. So let's take a look at our ducky friends over here, and then I'll send you guys out. Oh, first we have to look at these gorgeous tulips. So nice to have blooms. They are so pretty. They're like little roses. And I love how when they age, they turn a darker purple. So you can see they're like different shades of purple and pink as they age, and I just absolutely love them so much. And then let's zoom in on our duckies. They hang out here and eat the leftover seeds from our bird feeder. Can you see them there? And Piper's pretty good about not getting them. Where is she? I'll go slow. She's up there. Hi, Piper. You watching the duckies? Good job not getting the duckies. You being a good puppy. Slowly pan back over. Sorry, close your eyes if that's making you dizzy, but they're so cute. Hi guys. Okay, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.